So I need to essentially just play as I did, but lose like a second and a half somewhere. I can do that, surely. The more cups I can beat in Pond, the more the rivalry makes sense. Because at the moment he's just a benchmark, but the more I can beat. And then all of these are supposed to like tie together, so I can add it up, add a couple of extra like an extra minute and a half of loads. And then we vibe and we see kind of what time I could be cooking with if I actually just did well. Because the next one's Lightning Cup, and that'll mean we're 2/3 of the way through doing these little cup runs. And like, they've been fun. It's highlighted a few problem tracks. I know that most of my problem tracks are still to come. Things like Ribbon Road. Highlights where I need to time trial. And then we fuck around with some real runs again. And then when I get kind of into the group of runs, I can start thinking about another game. And by another game, I mean probably Shah. Like, the return will happen. I don't know what I want from Shah, though. I still want to beat, like, a 132 eventually. And I have a 136, but I also want to change my frame rate, and I understand that the grind is gonna fucking suck. Back to home one for real, you know. I don't think I ever have it in me to go for like sub 130 in Shah, unless I feel like it's an easy benchmark. I feel like a 132 is where the grind for me would be. And if I decided it was worth going for the sub 130, maybe I would. Stick to low. No, the reason I want to come back is to go high. 60's fun, but it doesn't always feel like a speed run in comparison to when like you see all these fucking cool strats at 150. I know it's a little bit like starry-eyed in the sense that like you've got like the cutscene skips and such that come with it, and the failed out of bounds, it's harder to recover, things like that. Like it's, I guess it's harder to lose. It's gonna hurt more to lose a run in like Homer 2 on like a high frame rate, which is why I'm not too like motivated by like say the grind. Okay. I don't think I want to do something like 180. I think I'd be happy with 150, but if for whatever reason it didn't work out, I'd still run the game on like 60 just to see. But it's gonna take a lot to get back to where I was, because I used to grind that game for hours at a time. Okay, so I'm technically halfway there. I just need to get like the same kind of sherbet land I had last time, like match PB. But I do need to get more coins on lap 1 if I can. Get these two here if I can. Nope, nowhere near. Never mind. Five coins is fine, I guess. Rival ratio is a return. So true. Well, what I'd probably do, and I did this at some point, and some of you might remember it, but I went through and did like individual levels. I think I just stopped after a few. I decided I didn't give that much of a shit. But I would do what I'm doing for this game. For sure, I'd go through and I'd do the individual levels. I'd kind of get used to doing the overall like strats in smaller doses, and then I would throw that shit together with like a coin route and see how it's going. Staple Shah commenter. Yeah, I used to love commentary. Like vibing on Discord whilst two people ran. Probably races that are better than anything I could ever pull off. At a poo. Wouldn't come out sad. True. Me like every other day. Ooh. I feel like just driving that bit shouldn't be as fast as it is. Like, I feel like I'm missing something, but there we go. Basically on pace. be an ESA host. Think you'd be good at it. I wouldn't mind doing something like that. I do think that if I actually put my mind to it, I'm not that bad at commentary. I also don't want to be mistaken for a podcast bro. Like, I think if the offer come around at any point, like, not that I think certain speedrunning companies have the best ethos and protection of like trans and non-binary rights and such, but I would like to do hosting on like a big speedrun platform, like to essentially do like an 8-hour shift of introducing games and reading out donos and stuff. I think I'd thrive doing something like that. I think it's very me. And I mean, I've done my fair share of commentary for games on like other things. Like I've done a Piku one, I've done Simpsons skateboarding, done Bad Guys at School. So I know how to like make a commentary like fun and I guess interesting. Clear voice and good diction. I do try. I'm always actually a little bit confused by my diction because like I get told by oh shit, that's bad. I get told by a lot of like non-English speakers that I'm quite easy to understand. Which I do take as like a compliment in some regard because it means like at least I'm not like a mumble rapper, but at the same time I'm like, oh no, have I lost my classy little like twang of being from the southeast if I'm easy to understand? And then I remember that RP comes from there and I'm like, what is it that I actually want with my voice? Other than more bass. If anyone has any bass that they can spare for my voice, please give. I don't like it when I get sick and I just lose any sort of like bass I had. Oh my days. I'm a little bit unsure on this time. That lap 3 was kind of a mess. Okay. That's good, that's good. 29. That matches best, I think. That's pretty good. That's a fire fucking split. Good voice for non-natives to understand. Yeah, I would argue that you do. I think, well, I mean, I think if people tell you something, then you can be inclined to believe it. But I do think that I've got quite an easy to understand voice for non-native speakers when I want to be easy to understand. Like at work, you know, like speaking on the phone to somebody, trying my best to explain things. But also, what I am starting to fear is that because I've got quite a easy to understand voice, is it invites a lot of like racism from customers. Like they always talk about like how helpful I am, but then they somehow like turn it into like something about like you're more helpful than X race at X company, and I'm like, oh well, just because I speak well, it's not an invite for you to be bigoted, but like that's cool. Like, I guess. Do with that information what you will. Ooh. Your voice is fine. I like your voice. I like when you get mad about something and then just go more Scottish. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was possible, but here we are. My voice is fine. I do wish it was deeper, but then I don't know how you control something like that. I keep joking about wanting to do voice training so I can like use a deeper voice to convince people to buy things on the phone so I can hit my sales targets, so I can actually be believed. But outside of that, like, I'm fine. I don't know where those down. Yeah. It's quite common in the UK. There's a lot of like, I don't know, like I guess patriotism from people who care about the country. If they care, I don't know why they'd have the opinions they do, but there's a lot of like, oh, you're so much better than like, and then like they just mislabel a group, and it's like, oh cool, that's really not cool, but alright. Also, never even saw a 954, what?